Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. I have several things I want to get you guys up to speed with that's been going on here in the last 48 hours. Some very unique sky phenomena, some things occurring with the sun and sunspots, solar flares, very large solar flares. But we're going to start here in Las Vegas, Nevada. The video you're about to see was sent in by George from October 1st of 2022. This would be yesterday morning around 6 a.m. This video does have narration as he witnessed something in the early morning sky.
Came from over there and exploded right about there.
He thinks he may have seen a meteor in the early morning sky above Las Vegas, and this is what it left behind. So I know it was something bright moving through the early morning sky. It looks like it was probably moving from west to east, as you can see the sun rising over there in the east, and this is kind of traveling along the southern sky, moving from west to east. So something bright spotted in the sky above Las Vegas. And speaking of bright objects in the sky, I received yet another video. This makes number 11. This one's out of New York City, sent in by Julio from the 24th of the SpaceX rocket launch, as it was spotted cruising up the east coast of the United States. It was visible from North Carolina up to Delaware, Pennsylvania, now New York City, and even all the way up to Connecticut. This is like the 10th video from the East Coast I received of the recent SpaceX rocket launch that is putting more and more Starlink satellites in low Earth orbit. Received a very cool photo taken by Chris Collins, sent in by Eric and Patsy out of Greenville, Tennessee, and this was influenced by Hurricane Ian. This was taken on the 30th of September in Greenville, Tennessee. I received some more video footage regarding the landfall of Hurricane Ian, sent in by George R. This is from the 28th.
Oh my gosh. Wow. What is happening?
I'm not exactly sure of the location, but you can tell by the behavior of the wind and rain. It looked like they were in a car wash, literally, there for an extended period of time. I also received photos from Virginia, Buena Vista, Virginia, by Mandy D. This was when it was Tropical Storm Ian, as it was moving over land on the 29th. So new video footage near the landfall and new photos as it was making landfall along the east coast of the United States. This was a historic storm that made 4 landfalls and set multiple statewide records, including power outages. I think at one time there were over 2 million power outages associated with Hurricane Ian that occupied 4, maybe 5 different states. Again, a very historic storm. And hurricane season's not over yet, even though we are on the downside of peak season. You can see another storm over here off the west coast of Mexico. This is Orlean. It was a Category 4. I think now it's a Category 2 storm, once again off the west coast of Mexico, moving very slowly over here at about 5 miles per hour. Once again, this was a Category 4 storm. Right now it's Category 3, soon to be a Category 2, in 24 hours a Category 1, but bringing a lot of rain to the west coast of Mexico. I want to show you guys something that's occurring on the Earth-facing side of the sun, and you're looking at a huge collection of sunspots up here in the northeastern quadrant of the sun that's turning towards the Earth right now as I do this video. Here recently, in the last 48 hours, we've seen a series of large solar flares, a couple of M-class solar flares and an X-class solar flare about 6 hours ago. And here's a look at the largest flares. They came from the same active region, 3110, right up there in the northwestern part of the sun. Yes, they were Earth-directed, and the ionosphere detected the interplanetary shock wave almost instantly. Makes you wonder how that energy can travel so fast, and I want to show you how fast it traveled. You're looking at the X1 class solar flare that occurred today, and it occurred at 2024 Universal Time. Looking at the ionosphere of planet Earth, it was detected in the ionosphere at 2027 universal time. An interplanetary shock wave right here detected off the west coast of the United States out in the Pacific between South America and North America at 2027. So the energy was detected 3 minutes later following the large X-class solar flare. Okay, check this out. Yesterday's large M5 class solar flare occurred on 10/1/2022 at 2016 Universal Time. Today's occurred at 2024 Universal Time. Literally 8 minutes apart, 24 hours later. And looking at the ionosphere, once again, the shock wave was detected out here in the Pacific at 2027. This is from today's X-class solar flare. Yesterday's was detected in the same exact region. They were literally 8 minutes away from being exactly 24 hours apart. How does that happen? I don't think I've ever seen that. And they came from the same active region, AR 3110, right there and right there. And they both created interplanetary shock waves that were detected in the ionosphere of planet Earth that created radio blackouts and interference in the upper latitudes of planet Earth. The stronger solar flares, if we ever get a stronger Earth-directed X-class solar flare, that could interfere with Earth's power grid and various things like that. GPS, right now, this one here is not strong enough to do that. However, it did create a shock wave, and it did create a disturbance, a brief disturbance, in the upper reaches of the atmosphere of planet Earth. So definitely something we're keeping a close eye on, as the Earth-facing side of the sun is absolutely loaded with sunspots, and these sunspots are very active and capable of producing X-class solar flares. Looking at the sun through the SOHO LASCO C3 instrument, see this large bright object here moving across the screen from right to left. Just know that that is identifiable, and that is Venus, right where it should be. Here's a map of the solar system. Here's the Earth looking at the sun. Behind the sun is Venus, big and bright, looking at the sun, and the SOHO spacecraft. So remember, the SOHO spacecraft that orbits the sun with the Earth. So it's right back here with the Earth, looking that direction, and that is indeed Venus that you're seeing in the field of view of the SOHO LASCO C3 instrument. Quick look at the Schumann resonance. All in all, pretty quiet, not anything major going on in the Schumann. Unlike the GOES X-ray flux, seen a lot of activity, especially in the last 36 hours. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. For some reason, there's been an absence of data in the last 24 hours on 6 of the seismographs throughout the center and the eastern part of the caldera. And right now, the reason for that absence of data is unknown. All in all, pretty quiet at the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera. Looking at the power outage situation over here at poweroutage.us, down to 735,000 customers without electricity in Florida following the landfall of Hurricane Ian. South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia already have the majority of their customers back online. That is absolutely incredible. Still looking at 145,000 customers without electricity in Puerto Rico. And for some reason, there's a power outage right now in Kansas, just north of 5,669 customers right here in the state of Kansas without power. And we're going to go to Kansas and see where the majority of these power outages are coming from. And it looks like right here down in the far southeastern corner of the state in Cherokee County, 5,658 customers going from Kansas down to Alabama. Received some really cool video footage sent in by Maria G of a spectacular roll cloud. There's actually 2 here that span across the sky. One spans from horizon to horizon as far as she could see, and then there's a smaller one up there. It looks like sky plumbing, glowing yellow up in the sky. I don't know if this was at sunrise or sunset, but that is an awesome video. Once again, sent in by Maria from Alabama. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.